We are live and direct. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Cigar Snob alongside Sir Shirts and Shoes.
I'm grinning in my linen. Happy Saturday.
Grinning in my linen. All right. Chair 4 Steve is out serving the community and selling Air Force Girl Scout cookies. So it is just the two of us today that you have. Sorry, not sorry.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. You're right. You're right. So first of all, happy October.
First Saturday in October. Happy October, my brother.
Um, I do have one caveat.
Uh-oh.
Fuck all you pumpkin spice lovers. And also, if you wear Ugg boots in Florida, you're a fucking moron because it's still 80 degrees in the fall. And you probably don't wear socks and your feet fucking stink. So, stop that shit. But I digress as Art is heating up the. Which one is that? Is that the Mummy or is that the. I forgot.
This is the Monster Mash.
So, shout out to Taswahe and Pete Johnson as well. As you know, I am a purveyor of all of the Monster series.
Yes. Thank you, and our good friend Ashley for turning me on to these. Every year I look forward to the Monster series coming out. So whether it's the Boris Karloff or some of the others that they have out, I'm smoking the Monster Mash. It is always fun when they come out. Here at Executive Cigars and Lounge, 225 West Seminole Boulevard in Sanford, Florida, they are in stock. So you can buy them individually, as I did for myself and the Cigar Snob, or you can get a box. Boxes are available. So I already know you. So get yours before he gets them all. So, and before I get what he doesn't get. So,
I mean, truthfully, I do have a box of each one of them in the actual coffins, not the bundles. And then I also have about 4 boxes of the Skinny Monsters that are unopened, still in cellophane, from every year that they've been produced.
Yeah, you are a purveyor and a collector, as well as a smoker, so I am not surprised.
So I probably don't need to buy anymore. However, comma space. Again,
I know who you
they
are.
are just fine cigars.
You know who you are.
And my name is the Cigar Snob, so I must collect them to smoke them. Not collect them just to look at them and say, oh, they look pretty, and no. I smoke my cigars.
And some of these seasonal releases also have some variations from year to year, depending on how they're aged and so forth. A classic example of that is the LFD cigar that comes out during the Super Bowl. Looks like a football, but the one that came out this year, to me, was a better blend than the one that came out last year. So,
see, I haven't smoked that one yet because I can't find them. Like I have the one that you gave me, but because I cannot find another one, I refuse to smoke it.
Well, I know where they're in plentiful supply, so we'll discuss that offline.
Also, going into holiday blends, Viaje is one of those companies, much like Tatuaje, where they really, really get into the limited release for the holiday blends. You have the Thanksgiving special, you have the Christmas candy cane. There's a number of cigars. There's a holiday blend. Viaje is one of those companies that is very underrated because they are a smaller company and they focus on a specific type of cigar smoker. I'm not going to call them a niche cigar company because to me they are among the greats. I think they really should be considered among the greats. I think the problem is that not enough tobacconists smoke them, so they don't get the chance to talk about them and let their consumers know, hey, this is definitely a cigar that you should try. And I've been smoking Viaje since 2011, 2012.
Okay.
And I've always bought the Thanksgiving special cigar. I've always bought the holiday blend that they put out every year. And they are just, I mean, honestly, they're phenomenal cigars. Um, so good, in fact, that I've tried to keep one from every year, and I have failed epically every year for the past 10 years.
So they're so good, you can't help
Yeah,
yourself.
they just are. And you can't, and most retailers won't let you buy a box because it's a limited run, short run type of cigar, and they want to ensure that everybody gets a chance to try it that can try it. Because not a lot, even bigger companies, as far as cigar retailers, they're not getting 20 or 30 boxes of these cigars. You know, if you're a bigger retailer, you may get 5 to 10 because it's such a limited release and it's such a small batch. You're not going to get a plethora of cigars. So I urge you, when you see these specials in your cigar shops, in your brick and mortars, go try one. Like, I will not steer you wrong in that front. You may not like it, but you will be able to respect and understand why so many people go crazy for these cigars. Same thing with Tatuaje. I mean, like the Black Label. The Black
Yeah.
Label started out as an event-only cigar. It did so well that they ended up putting it as a regular production cigar. And to me, I love Lanceros.
I know you do.
I love Lanceros. However, comma space. The Pete Johnson box, that's the event-only box of the Robustos of that Black Label, are my favorite.
Okay.
Even over the Lancero. And I love everything Lancero, I really do. But that cigar in the Robusto, to me, is everything. There's nothing more that I can get out. Even when I go to a smaller gauge like the Lancero, I still get the same thing. Like, I don't get any higher notes, any stronger notes. I don't. It's just perfect the way it is in that size. What else is Holiday Blend coming out? Oh, it's almost time for Opus to come back out.
Yeah, that's right. They always come with something. So
Nothing against them,
it'll be interesting to see.
just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I like some of them, as you know.
Yeah.
Like the Heaven and Earth series.
How was the Purple Rain?
That I like it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Compared to some of the others that I've had, I definitely like that one.
And that's how I am with the Lost City Lancero.
Yes.
Like, that is, to me, hands down, the best cigar produced. Well,
and I like the Angel's Envy.
I was going to say Angel's Envy as well, but also can't forget God of Fire.
No, you can never forget the God of Fire. That's always. It's
I introduced
always
you to that one too, right?
You did. You got me hooked on those.
Yeah.
So it was like almost every time I saw him, I was like, oh, I gotta get some more. So just like you and Chair 4 Steve have noticed my proclivity lately to be stuck on the Atabey Lancero.
Oh yeah, I mean,
So
listen, it's a great cigar. And again, it's another one of those cigars that you really have to be a well-versed tobacconist in order to, number one, appreciate the cigar, but also, number two, realize that this is a cigar that needs to be talked about.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's where, and we had that talk last week, that's where a lot of people get mixed up. They get caught up with these spiffs.
Yeah.
And, oh, if I sell this cigar, I get extra money. If I sell that cigar, I get extra money. Here's the thing about being a true tobacconist versus a retail worker in a cigar shop. And I mean that with full disrespect. I really do. You're either a tobacconist or you're a retail worker working in a cigar shop. And I say that because I can't come into your cigar shop and ask you for a specific price point of cigar or a specific blend of cigar, and you take me to something completely different. I can't, like, and this has happened to both of us.
It has.
We've gone into certain cigar shop, and we've asked for a $8 to $12 price cigar, medium blend or heavy blend, and I take it to Davidoff Millennium. Now, Davidoff Millennium is a stronger blend, but it is still a medium to medium full, not medium to full, but medium to medium full, depending on the type of smoker you are.
And it's a premium priced cigar.
Exactly. The Millenniums start at about $18 to $20 a piece, depending on what shop you're in. Now you've already doubled the price that I said I'm willing to pay, and then you've also taken me to a cigar blend that I'm not interested in.
Yes.
So, and again, I say that with the utmost disrespect. If you don't know cigars, there is a website called Tobacconist University.
Mm-hmm.
All they need is a letter from the proprietor of the shop with stating your name and stating that you are an employee of the shop. The only price you have to pay is to buy the book. And this book is the Bible of cigars, from seed all the way to stick. Literally from the manufacturer's farm all the way to the consumer's hand. This book gives you all of the knowledge. It's an online self-paced course. So for all of you employees who are actually interested, I'll say, in learning more about cigars and not just a job,
And creating better value for your customers and client base.
which is how you get, and that's the thing. That's how I've ended up with so many people who still to this day, I don't work in a retail shop anymore. I haven't worked in a retail shop in 6 years, 7 years actually, I'm sorry. And, but people still call me, still email me, still text me, hey, what do you recommend? This is the path that I'm on. And it's because I took the time to study, to read all of these journals, to actually talk to the reps about the actual product and not just trying to sweet talk them out of cigars. Like, show an interest in your work, show passion in your work, because you could be the next person to open a cigar shop. You may have those people, and I've had those people around me. Luckily, Tom, the proprietor of this establishment, I talked to him about an idea that I wanted to do for cigars on events. And he offered up the resources free of charge and said, take it and run with it. So if you have that mindset, if you have that dream and that drive to do more in cigars, by all means, look up Tobacconist University. Read all the reviews. I can tell you it's an amazing course. Like I said, it's all self-paced and online. So you can do it while you're at home on downtime. You can do it on the weekends. You don't have to worry about, I have to get it finished in a certain amount of time. But the best part about it is you gain an understanding of a tradition that is hundreds of years old. On every front, you gain it from the farm perspective, from the roller perspective, from the blender perspective, even from the consumer perspective. So this is something that you should really, really, really look into and figure out if this is a passion of yours. This is something you should go after. Again, it's like I said, the book's $75, but other than that, you have literally the entire history of cigars in a book that you can read and on online courses that will give you so much more depth in the industry you've chosen to work in and so much more understanding. You will notice, I guarantee you, once you start studying, reading, you start talking to customers, the customers will start to gravitate towards you because they see that you know what you're talking about. They see that you have passion, the same passion that they have and the same love they have for cigars. They see that you have it and you enjoy it, and that will make them gravitate towards you and start to ask you the questions instead of going to ask someone else or asking your recommendation or saying, hey, my buddy smokes A, B, and C. What's something that's what's a good cigar to get this person? Whether it's a male or female, or my buddy just had a baby, or my wife likes cigars, but she's tired of flavored cigars. She wants to go to a more natural cigar. Where can you steer me? Those are the questions that they want to ask, but because you're not versed and because you take it as a job and not a lifestyle / career, they don't feel confident in you. So, and to all my big consumers out there, please tell your retail, workers that work at the brick and mortar that you go to all the time. Let them know these things, because sometimes it's just a fact of not knowing. It's not that they don't want to get more knowledge; they just are not aware of all the different avenues that can help them. So, by all means, let them know. Go online, search Tobacconist University, look it up, get the letter from their boss, and just start learning. Like, it's my belief, and I say it all the time. Like, every cigar shop employee, whether it's the owner, whether it's the manager, even if it's the bartender, like, they should all have a basic knowledge of cigars as far as the retail side. They don't have to go into the retail management side and all those things, but they should have a general knowledge of cigars. Because how many times have you sat at the bar and the tobacconist is in the humidor with a patron, and you ask the bartender,
Sure.
what's new here?
Hmm.
At a minimum, they need to know that.
They should. At a minimum, they
At a
should.
minimum, they need to know every single new cigar that's in the shop. Even if they don't know anything else about it, you can't tell me if it's a mild, a medium, or heavy. I don't even need to know the price point. But the fact that you know what you're carrying, even though that is not your technical domain because you're behind the bar, that shows that you actually care about your job, that you're interested in your job, and that you're interested in your consumers.
Yeah, absolutely. And another good point is that if you look long term, it benefits the individual.
Back.
$75 is the book, but the knowledge is invaluable. And when you take that knowledge and apply it long term, you create better customer relationships, i.e., more sales. And then more sales means other opportunities to expand. You may start off as a tobacconist, you may start off as a bartender, and you may decide at some point, you know what, I want to get in this business,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to get in this business for myself and open up a shop. And you may want to develop a career in the industry and see that take off. You look at Don Patel, 25 years.
Hey.
He was at Cigars on the Avenue, on Park Avenue in Winter Park. He parlayed that successfully to now he's moved into a brand new spot at 963 North Orange in Winter Park.
Full liquor bar.
Full, beautiful place. And Don is, along with you, Edka, some other people I know here, one of the more knowledgeable people about cigars because he took the time. He invested in it. He's blended. He's got great knowledge, great historical history, great reference. He can match your palate up properly. So same with Alan and Jonathan over at Old Times.
Mm-hmm.
They invested in it. They built a business by it. So if you look long term, acquiring that kind of knowledge certainly pays off in so many ways. So, and once you have that knowledge, like anything else from an educational perspective, it can't be taken from you. So take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. So who wouldn't, want to be able to talk with a bartender while having a drink about, hey, what do you have new? And to your point, all right, I like to drink this. What do you recommend? Or I like to smoke this. What do you have new in that's relatively similar to my palate, what I'm asking for? And so you develop a relationship with that individual as well. So, and then you also are in a position where you've got some credibility. So when you bring your friends to a spot, you know that with a reasonable degree of certainty that they'll be able to enjoy their beverage, enjoy their cigars, enjoy the atmosphere without being sold something that they really don't like. And it just makes for an enjoyable experience. So, we're not saying, you have to, totally invest in it because you're going to get into the cigar business, but just the knowledge itself, whether you're looking long term or short term, it certainly pays off. So,
I definitely have to agree with you. Let's take another turn here.
let's.
So I went out for my anniversary dinner last night, and I went to the restaurant in, I guess it's on the border of Oviedo, um, by UCF, called the Aurora at the Celeste Hotel. It's a Marriott Tribute Hotel,
Brand new spot.
brand new, and the tribute is to the UCF campus. They have a full mannequin in the full UCF home game football uniform, but they also have dedicated it to NASA as well. So dinner was amazing, by the way. It just the signature cocktails like the Aurora. Um, it was just an amazing experience. The food was great, um, and so on a whim, I decided, you know what? Since we're already here, the kids are already asleep. They're old. The oldest one's old enough to take care of the youngest. We're just going to get a hotel room for the night, and we stayed there. And the room itself, another masterpiece. I mean, just the decor of the room. They even had a book about the Hubble Museum. They had actual artwork on the walls of parts of the solar system.
Did that picture me? I'm art.
No, they did not. They did not have that. They didn't have anything about the black hole. But they did have.
Wrong.
They had an amazing view. We had an amazing pool view. I mean, but the place was laid out. The food was great, and they're cigar friendly.
Oh, they are.
Yes,
Oh,
they are cigar friendly.
now you done said something else. Now you've added to the mystique. That's good to know.
So that is a place that I'm going to start frequenting, and we're going to actually probably start doing some events there soon.
Okay.
Some cigar events.
Looking forward to it.
As far as testing, and then even cigar education classes out there. So listen to that. Look out for that. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, on Instagram, and the YouTube channel. The ATF Radio Show. You can DM Art at Artman Forever, myself at DA Cigar Snob, or at the ATF Radio Show. You shoot us an email at atfradioshow@icloud.com.
You can also email me, Artman, at artman4.com. Lots of ways to get in touch
You
with
got
us.
your own website? What do you have on there?
You'll see.
I don't know if I want to go look.
It's friendly. But no, it's not. It's not a website. It's just a mail
Just
server.
a domain?
Yeah, it's just a mail server I set up. But it is there. So now, speaking of cigar experience, yesterday I went back to cigars, and I had the Byron Reserva. That was my first time
Fancy.
having the Byron Reserva. I sat with Don, and we talked. I congratulated him again on the move and everything. We got to get you over there.
Definitely.
And I really enjoyed it because, for those who don't know, the Byron and the Atabey, they come from the same source out of Costa Rica, and so they have different profiles in terms of palate and so forth. And once I started the Atabey, I honestly I did myself a disservice. I figured, well, I like this. I don't necessarily need to try the Byron because I assumed it was going to be a relatively similar experience, but it was not. I was pleasantly surprised. So again, you've talked many times about trying different things, exploring your palate, exploring your tastes, going outside the box, and now I'm a fan of the Byron line of cigars. So, but very good smoke, long smoke. Matter of fact, I think it was probably a Churchill. It was a good long hour plus smoke.
Sure.
So it burned well, great draw, woodsy and cocoa notes, and like the Atabey, it's not a super strong cigar, so it's probably on the milder end, especially for your palate.
Okay.
But a great cigar nonetheless. So for those out there, if you're thinking about a particular cigar, you haven't tried it for whatever reason, pick it up, give it a shot. So it may work for you, it may not, but it's great to at least have that experience. So, but thoroughly enjoyed it, and
Good.
so count me in the Byron camp now. So as I continue to expand my own palette. So, but yeah, they've got the full bar set up there now. So they've got expanded hours now. So, and because the other businesses in that area closed earlier,
There's a plethora of parking, huh?
parking's available. Yeah. So
That's good. That's good. I definitely want to try it out. Check it out. I've heard reviews from you, from Steve, and then a couple of other people. So I'm definitely interested in figuring out when I can get out there.
there was even a cohort of individuals in there last night from Rollins College, which is right down the street, and they were doing a table reading. I guess they're actors working on a play or a short story or film. So they were enjoying cigars. Good to see young people, the younger generation, enjoying cigars and doing a table reading, going over their script. So that was nice to see. So, but again, the smoking experience allows for collaboration, camaraderie, that kind of interaction. And so they made an evening of it. So, and these are individuals that I'd never seen before.
Well, that's a good thing then.
So, yeah. And I noticed since they've opened that new spot, I've been in there, 3 or 4 times now.
Mm-hmm.
And each time I'm in there, I see people I recognize from when he was on Park Avenue, but I'm also seeing new faces. So that is good to see. They're very good to see.
So you're smoking the Frank, by the way.
The band just said Monster Mash on it.
Yeah, the Monster Mash series. That's
okay. Oh, I'm smoking the Frank. Okay.
This is probably one of my favorites,
Good.
other than the Wolfman, which is the Kruger.
Yeah, I picked that out specifically for you.
This
and it's another one. It's a box press. So,
and then the amazing part about this is Nicaraguan tobacco. This one, however, definitely has some notes of Mexican San Andreas on the wrapper.
Oh, this does too.
I mean, this is a harsh smoke, and not in a bad way.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a strong, like my throat scratch. It is a strong cigar.
And I think it's a Puro too. I think it's all Nicaraguan.
And this is peppery on top of that. I mean,
we know you like your pepper.
And then again,
you like a little spice, a little savoir
put some stank on it.
Okay, let's call it that.
And again,
got some ass on that ash.
Again, a huge shout out to Pete Johnson, because not only has he taken all of our childhood monsters, and brought them to life, but the fact that even in the cigars themselves, the theme of the monster is brought into the cigar. Like the whole fact of Freddie coming to you in your dreams and him being burned alive and all of that, and then having these strong peppery notes.
It's a perfect motif.
And these leathery notes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, it brings you back to A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
It really does. Like, I have flashbacks of different movies because I'm like, oh man, because I'm literally smoking the character in a way.
Yeah. Our friend Ashley happens to like the Bride of Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And they all have different flavor profiles too.
The Wolfman.
Yep.
The Drac.
Yep.
I mean, oh man. Oh, by the way, yesterday, I went shopping yesterday. I was trying to find an anniversary gift for my lady. And you would not believe who I saw in Nordstrom in Winter Park. I called you, but you didn't answer.
Yeah, that's right. I was on a call.
Chase.
Oh.
She was like, make sure you tell Art. And I said, okay. She gave me a hug. She's like, please, make sure you tell Art I said hi. I said, I would definitely let him know.
Yeah, I miss Chase. I haven't seen her in a while since I saw her at a charity event earlier this spring where she performed. So,
and funnily enough, she was out looking for an outfit to wear for her performance that night, last night.
Ah, okay.
She's like, I have nothing to wear in my closet, and I've got to find something, but I don't know if I'm going to find it. She had like 5 dresses in her hand.
That's Chase.
And it's funny because I'm looking in the women's section.
Chase Shilley, by the way.
Yes. And I look up, and this lady's staring at me. I'm like, is this one of my patients or one of my students? I can't figure it out.
We have to
So I
we have
looked
to have
down.
her on the show at some point.
I told her, yeah.
She would be a great guest.
I told her. I said, we're at executive. We'll definitely do the show with you. Bring you on, have you sing if you want.
Yeah.
Bring one of your musical partners.
Yeah.
And do something. But yeah, I looked at her, and she's like smiling at me, and I'm like, I don't know this woman. Why is she smiling at me?
You didn't recognize her?
I did not recognize her. It took me 3 looks, and then I was like,
All this
oh
time,
shit.
all this time we saw her at the radio station.
Exactly.
When her show was ahead of ours.
Yeah, and we always talk before and after.
Yeah.
But then I realized, I was like, oh. Yeah, and so she was like, she made sure, she's like, please make sure you tell Art. I said, I definitely will.
Oh, thank you for that. I have to reach out to Chase. We haven't caught up in a while, so she's now in that Bellicoso group chat that we're in.
Yes.
So
I had to teach her how to silence it yesterday.
yeah, TC2.
She was like, how do you, she was like, I keep seeing pictures and getting texts from people that I just don't like.
Yeah, get that. I get
I'm
that.
like, well, you just got to do like I do and put the mute on, and then every now and again you got to go and
check it out.
open up the text messages because there's 50 unread text messages.
Yeah, and there's always good comic relief in there. So.
And that is what I did tell her. I did tell her, I was like, look.
Olay on the toupee.
I did say, I told her about Lou, yes. And she died laughing. But, we've got, hey, Genesis, come back.
Hi, Genesis. Did she leave?
Yeah, she closed the door back.
Oh, a quick shout out. He's working over there. We've got Mike B in the house with us. Mike, how are you? Always good to see you, man.
I didn't know if he was being incognito today, so that's why I was
I'm sorry. We have someone.
It's too late now.
Great tales from his experience traveling,
Vegas trip, yeah.
having cigars and so forth. So yeah. So no, but thank you for that. Yeah, I have to catch up with Chase. So
yeah, he went to Vegas and spent a small fortune on cigars, of course.
That's Vegas for you.
But he did smarten up immediately and realized that Davidoff is one of those companies that has prices set.
Yeah.
So you cannot do Keystone Plus. You can't add a lot of money onto the cigars. So he said, if I'm going to spend $20 for a cigar, I'd rather spend $20 for a cigar. That's $20 everywhere else.
That I know.
Versus spending $20 on a $6.25 cigar like he did.
Yeah, there's
the
no
first
need,
cigar, like,
there's no need for that. Lessons learned out there, my friends, when you go to Vegas. So no.
Me, on the other hand, I end up bringing like 150 cigars every time I go. Not necessarily to smoke them all, but I'm a big proponent of exchanging cigars.
Mm-hmm. We do that all the time.
Trading cigars out.
Like the cigar that you're smoking right now.
Yes.
Walked in, hit you with one of those, hit you with the HVC 10-year anniversary. So here at Executive, they continue to, bring in,
They're expanding that market and expanding that humidor.
That's right.
That's what it's all about.
They've got a flavor for every neighbor to savor. They do. So I plan on, as you know, I'll be taking a trip out to Napa tomorrow. So I will be bringing select cigars with me. So I'm sure I will have an opportunity in wine country to fire one up, because cigars and wine certainly.
What type of wine do you like? Are you a red blend type of person? Are you a dry red, sweet red, white?
White and fruity red, not too dry.
Okay, so I would suggest when you drink the reds, you definitely want to get a Habano cigar.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking about a nice pepper bone. So.
And the reason for that is, I'm in no way a sommelier or anything like that, but I am a professional drinker.
You are.
And a professional smoker.
You are.
And
Mounted in ways, raised no quitter.
That's right. And I have found over the years of smoking and then learning how to enjoy the reds that spicy sticks and reds go together like lube and ale.
What? Okay, that's a segue.
In the respect that it is just a smooth transition. And I say this because I say this because the pepper and spice um, are muted a little bit by the red blends, but they also bring out so much more of the floral notes of the cigar.
I was thinking about that Alma Fuego, for example. So
And it's something that is just it's an experience you just have to have.
yeah,
I think.
and one of my favorite vineyards is out there, Gary Farrell, Farrell.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got some blends that'll go perfectly out there. So hopefully I can get my hands on some.
So you're a traveling man. So Napa this week, and then Shelbyville's on the 15th.
I'm on the move.
Shelbyville, Tennessee. By the way, if we have any people out there, let us know. We got to talk to our private group about that too.
We do.
And see if there's any members out in that Shelbyville area.
That's a good idea. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. So, but he mentioned Shelbyville because we will be visiting the Uncle Nearest distillery in Shelbyville, Tennessee. So, definitely looking forward to that. Getting our hands on some more of that 1820. And of course, we got to get our hands on that MBE, that Master Blend Edition.
You already know.
So,
you already know. Miss Weaver, I'm coming, and we've got some plans.
we do.
We've got some plans.
And hopefully her husband is there too.
I hope so.
Keith, good dude. So looking forward to that. So
I've actually got some blends to take out there.
oh, do you? You're already plotting, aren't you? I know you. I should have known. So, and hopefully we will know once he returns from duty if Chair 4 Steve can make it. So, because when we talked about it the other day, he still wasn't sure. He said he'd know by the time he gets back because, you know, service of country, that comes first.
Absolutely.
So,
well, if he cannot, I volunteer a tribute to drink his share of liquor.
and I will smoke his share of cigars. So he will be with us in spirit.
Yes.
If not physically. So
Ooh, that was a good hit, man. Took his ass out.
he hurt before squirting.
Wow. Speaking of squirting, when are we going to the range?
Yeah, we are due. We are long overdue. And I still gotta reconnect with you on that guy's information to go to that range out here through John Smith.
Okay.
Yeah, so we still gotta do that. So
Because as you know, I have a
That's,
plethora of weapons.
Corey Robinson, David Robinson's son, he played football with him. Yeah, you do.
He's got the Admiral's eyebrows.
He
That's for sure.
does. He does. But as we head into the fall season, I hope. And I must go back to your original point. I echo your point on pumpkin. For me, it's sweet potato, not pumpkin. So, for those who like pumpkin, you can have it all. You can have my share. But I've never been a fan of pumpkin spice or flavor or pumpkin in general. So, but I'll take sweet potato all day. Every day.
I will say
It's
the
how I
only
was
thing
raised.
pumpkin that I do like, well, there's two things. Every fall, my mom makes a pumpkin soup. And it's actually out of like fresh pumpkin that, we carve and everything like that. We'll carve the pumpkin and take out all the inside. And she'll make a pumpkin soup. But she also makes roasted pumpkin seeds.
Oh, now I have those are good. I do like.
And I've had the commercial versions, and nothing has compared. Everybody says, "Oh, nothing's better than your mom's cooking," and I'm like, to a degree. Like there are some things that some people make better than your mom. Unfortunately, you can't ever tell her that.
No, of course not.
But-
of course not. Got to be tactful with it.
But the pumpkin seeds, like I remember that as a kid, probably 9 or 10 years old, and that was a thing. Every time we carved out a pumpkin and took all the insides out, we set the pumpkin aside for the soup, and then all of the seeds we put on a paper towel. We wash them, we dry them off, and then we lightly sprinkle salt on them, and then throw them into the oven.
Yeah, that brings back some memories, man.
And that's just one of those things that I miss. And just for the nostalgia, and I say that because like the weather's been nice. You know, in the mornings it's been 69, 70 degrees, and I'm loving it.
And carving pumpkins and everything was my first exposure to getting into the guts of things. And I've been getting into them guts ever since. You all right? You okay? You all right?
No, I mean I feel you. I got into some guts yesterday as well.
There you go.
But yes, it's those family moments, you know.
Yeah.
And we are a family show, even though we say some things that are apropos, if you will.
Yeah, we can be a little blue. A little,
You know, however, comma space
we can get a little heinous, but that's okay.
in the 80s.
Y'all like it. Ooh, did you?
The Viceroy.
Wow. Wow. The views expressed. No, I won't even. I won't even come with the disclaimer because I can't lie. I can't lie.
More wattage. I'm just making all the quotes that Art has given me over the years, 2 years we've known each other. Almost 3 years.
Yeah. More amps. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yes, we definitely have to go to the range. I have now 3 weapons. Wait. Yes, 3 weapons that I have not shot.
Fresh fire.
I've got 2 weapons that are over 2 years old that I have not put around through.
Oh, and I also took your advice about, wearing the holster that I have for the Glock 30S, so getting comfortable with it. So thank you for that. It's good exercise. So being a city boy growing up in Chicago, not having access because of the laws in the state of Illinois, it's just something I wasn't comfortable with. But carrying it, walking around the house and so forth, now I'm getting comfortable with it. So I will certainly be taking advantage of my carrying concealed weapons permit now. So.
And I will tell you, when I started carrying, I got like 4 or 5 different holsters because I wanted to figure out which was more comfortable for me.
Yeah, and depending on what kind of shirt
attire you're wearing.
Yeah, what kind of shirt,
Yeah,
whether
if
it's
you're wearing a suit,
mm-hmm.
you got to get a shoulder holster. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're wearing a jersey or a big T-shirt, that's fine. Mm-hmm. Because again, then you can go to, if you're wearing a big shirt or a jersey, or even a suit jacket, you can go with an outside the hip holster. Some people prefer inside. I prefer inside the waistband holsters.
Same.
It's just more comfortable to me, and it's gotten to the point where I've actually put material in my jeans, like on the inside, so that I don't even need a holster.
Oh, you stuff it? Huh?
I just put it right in. Well, I'm always stuffing it. Always. Always.
Doc McStuffins over here.
Yeah.
Always
not the Disney version.
No, definitely not. And always aiming cinemas.
Always. So. But yeah, I put like a non-slip material on the inside so I can just slide my weapon inside my pants without having to deal with that holster clipping on and clipping off and everything.
And before I forget, quick shout out. As you know, we're broadcasting from Executive. Tom is the owner. Today is Tom's son, Greg. Today is Greg's birthday. So,
oh shit! Happy birthday, Greg!
Happy birthday, Greg! I'm sure
is he in town?
I don't know if he is or not, but wherever he is, I hope he is having a wonderful birthday weekend. So, Greg's a good dude, and we always talk sports. He likes my shoe game. In honor of him, I have on some signature Kobe's. So
I see with the fresh white linen tunic.
Yeah, it's that time of year. It's a beautiful day. You gotta love some comfortable linen out here in these streets. So there you have it.
In other words, Art's on the prowl.
I'm always down for a fun time in the sunshine. So that's why I'm here.
And by fun time, he means women.
Or a woman. I'm not that guy. So I'm a singular man with a singular plan.
shout out to Caitlin. Oh, there's
Oh,
Erica.
yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Caitlin.
Yes.
Working hard,
Yeah.
killing it.
Yes.
Shout out to the beautiful Erica.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you? Happy Saturday.
Great.
Every time I see Erica, it is like I feel like a kid at Christmas because I never get enough.
We never
time.
see her.
Never. It's like she comes in, makes an appearance, teases us with love, and then she's on the
And then
move
she's
again.
gone. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Just like Batman, she shows up when you're bad and then she's gone.
I've been asking her for a dinner date since Nixon was in office.
We need to get it on the book.
We'll get there. See, I gotta make an appointment. Get it on the books. That's the truth. That's a businesswoman right
Well,
there.
I was just about to say, I'm like,
Get it on the books.
you see who her partner is.
Yeah.
Look, if you guys don't schedule shit out 2 or 3 months in advance,
It's not gonna happen. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, please give us your shopping list for Uncle Nearest.
Listen,
I know you're still a little upset about
this
that.
is just not even.
I can't believe you were not aware of this.
She
I
was aware,
remember
but
talking about
nobody
it.
told her about the date.
Yeah. So the times and what's the actual date?
The
The
15th.
15th of October.
So we got make it happen,
Less
Captain.
than 2 weeks.
Yeah. So we leave it that
We leave
Friday,
that Friday.
come back Sunday, or Monday. I might take that Monday off because we might stay an extra day and just fly back. But we'll figure that out. But yeah, if you can make it,
I might at least fly out there and meet you guys for.
that would be wonderful.
Yeah, for
Just
the
one day.
blending,
Yeah.
the barrel blend, that would be amazing.
Yeah, because that master blend edition we have not had. We got to try it.
I've heard great things about that, so I am really excited. We just brought in, so we had brought it into Melbourne. They just started getting it, and so now their interest is peaked, and so they want to see what else is going on, and now they're all excited.
Well, the other thing too is like I don't think I'm going to be able to fly back. Now that I think about it, because the amount of bottles that I'm going to bring back.
Might be better to just.
I mean, honestly,
Bring it
we're
back
just,
in the
we're just going to
spring,
have to come
man.
back. I'm just going to
I
have to
gotta
come
see
back.
how far of a drive it is for me.
Because you'll be in North Carolina, right?
I'm not sure if I'll be here or there.
Okay.
Because I know Tom's going to come, because he's going to be in North Carolina,
Yes.
and he's going to fly out to meet us.
He is going to be. So I have to see if that's my week on or my week off.
And I think I did the mileage from here. It's like 700 miles, something like that.
Yeah, we could do that easy.
Yeah.
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 So I don't know. We'll see.
You got the ventilation in the Sprinter,
Mm-hmm.
so we shall be smoking it up.
Absolutely. It's
So
not.
it's going to look like a Cheech and Chong movie.
Yeah, I was going to say up in
That's
smoke.
right.
So between the cigars and the Uncle Nearest, it is going to be on
And popping.
like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, now that I realize, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably going to have to drive back because I'm just going to bring a book bag with like 3 shirts and a pair of pants and some underwear, and then everything else is just going to be liquor space.
That's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. That just makes the most sense, I think,
I agree.
logistically speaking.
Yeah, you gotta have room to bring back the goodies for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of goodies, before you arrived, we were just talking about the fact that now that we're in fall, the seasonal cigars that are coming out. We picked up some of the Tatuajes.
Yeah.
So
My favorites.
But it's not even it's seasonal, absolutely. But there's a lot of stuff that we ordered at the show that we're just now seeing
Now,
come
yeah,
in.
yeah.
We Espinosa Azulejo is
Oh, finally came in.
finally here, so that's
Nice.
got
Wow.
the
Okay.
Sumatra wrapper with the
Mhm.
Brazilian Aripaca. So that is a phenomenal cigar. So
I will definitely give it to Eric. He is one of those guys that I love his cockiness, I love his arrogance,
Yeah, that swag.
but even more so, like his palate
yeah,
is, and I knew him when he was working for Rocky, and his palate has always been one of those palettes. The same thing with Pete Johnson, the same thing with Jonathan Drew,
yeah.
Matt Booth. Like they are on a whole nother level of blending.
And sometimes sometimes something is blended amazing and it just doesn't hit your palate right.
Right.
So there are some great cigars that have good construction and and I know that it's a good blend. It's just it doesn't,
Right.
it's like your mom's sauce, right? Who's got better stuff or something?
We just talked about
I just
that.
said that. Like,
I mean,
your
it
mom
just-
makes certain things that are just amazing, but
Right.
there's some people who make it better than her.
But you can't.
You can't
tell.
never say that.
Right.
But
But there's something, and there was something, the very first time that I had an Espinosa that was just like this is me, and it wound up to be my my first brand, like that. They would, some of the guys at the shop would tease me, and this is 2014, 2015. You get fangirl and tease me about it. I'm like, listen, this is just something that I liked, and and that's kind of continued. And the fact that those guys are just so amazing, from Junior, and is so talented.
oh yeah, he is.
With all his, and so creative. Hector's just doing an amazing job. With the new blends. Jack's a great personality. I mean, they're all like the nicest people in the world. That's the coolest part. Yeah. So.
I will say my favorite Espinosa blend, and people are gonna laugh and think I'm fucking crazy, but the E Doble,
Yeah.
his bundle value cigar, that is for a 6x60, the stick price is like $3.50 a stick. Okay, this is, and it's a hand rolled cigar, not a machine roll,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a bundle value cigar.
Yeah.
And it is one of his most flavorful cigars. It's in the medium to medium full range, but the amount of floral notes and sweetness that comes out of that cigar,
People love that Habano.
it's that as well. It's just the warhead, the bunker buster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I have,
You turned me on to
I
that.
have the first box of bunker busters that was ever sold because he did the opening at Smoke Inn.
And
Oh,
I-
wow.
And I have the one that you gave me. Yeah.
And I literally, and it was from 2014, and I cracked the seal on it a month ago,
He's got a lot of original issues.
Wow.
and I gave him one, and I've only smoked one cigar out of that. I still have 8 cigars left.
That's my thing is the Murcielago I've got from the beginning till
The
till
original
now.
Murcielagos.
Yep. So every time I and here's the thing, there were some that I had 2, 3, 4 of that I'm like, you know what? Cigars are for smoking, not for saving, right?
Bingo.
We said that. We talked about that. Yeah.
So, but still, it's hard. There's always stuff that you really love that you don't ever want to smoke the last one. I just gifted Edka and Anastasia
Ooh.
Caldwell. That was
Shit.
Caldwell EPC
Shit.
original.
We might have to jack her for that.
But I went to a shop and they had
So
originals.
am I.
Yeah, but she's packing that Torch Judge.
Oh.
Oh,
I mean, I got Lucille here, the XT45,
Yeah.
but I do have the Judge in the car as well. So
okay. I'll just have to disarm her with charm and sweetness. Then.
Oh my gosh.
she's got a weakness for the sweetness.
That she does. That she does. But that's okay.
But yeah, that's a
I have to. There's the possibility I might have had a couple extra. Went into the shop and they had them, and I'm like, that's not. Wait a minute.
right.
And I look.
But see, that's the beauty of, and I tell people all the time, that's the beauty of, I loved working at cigar shops because, people, other employees used to hide stuff or put it in the
Yeah.
back. I found a box of, not a box, 4 boxes, and I bought them all. And I don't care. Fuck you if you don't like me for it. Of the JJ Series White Label Torpedo
Oh.
that were boxed in 2007. I found them in 2012.
Wow.
I only have 4 cigars left out of those 4 boxes.
Wow.
And I've given him a couple of them. I've given Steven a couple of them. And they are just, I mean, you talking about cigars aging well over time. Like, Pepin is one of those guys that he is just a master. He knows, yes, it is amazing right now.
Yeah.
But even now, 14 years later, I take one out of the box and I smoke it, and it's even better.
How is the strength?
The strength has gotten a little mellower,
Just a little bit.
just a little bit, but it's not like, it hasn't turned into like a mild cigar.
Right.
It still has that punch. And then on the same token, the Cuban Classic, the Black Label.
I
Which
love
is
the
a
Cuban classic.
complete
That might be
pepper
probably
band.
my. And it's so funny because I typically try to stay away from pepper, but I like that Cuban classic. and I like the Lee Bijou, but I think that with the Lee Bijou, the wrapper completely mellows out the pepper and has just enough sweetness to
Yeah.
hit everything on my palate. And I like it in that in
That
the
little-
tea robusto. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god. Yeah, it's only like honestly, it's like a 20-minute smoke at best, because you chain smoke that like people chain smoke cigarettes, because the flavor is just so, it coats your palate so well that you're just like, oh, I'm losing it. Let me take another
Yeah.
puff.
See, that'd be a perfect one to get my hands on if I were to take it with me to Napa.
Yeah, that
That'd
you know,
be
and
ideal.
you know what I will tell you, if you can get your hands on them, and the Padron Cortico series.
Mm-hmm.
It is a long filler.
I know where you can get it. It's so funny. I went into a shop that I had never had one. Oh my
I
god!
still haven't had one because I can't find them ever.
I know where you can get them. I'll tell you.
Number one, the tobacco. Technically, it's technically a cigarillo, but it's capped. It's still a hand rolled cigar that's capped, right? The beauty of it is, it's long filler tobacco. Number one, but also the tobacco has been aged for years.
Oh,
So this isn't something that it just dried out, they put it in too long to season and flavor it, and then took it. No, it's sat, and that's the beauty of all Padron. At a minimum, you're gonna get 3 to 4 years aging
yeah.
on every one of their products.
Yeah.
So to have a 3.5 inch cigarillo that's like a 50 ringgit, or sorry, was it 20 or 30?
I think it might be somewhere 28 and 32, somewhere there.
And it's a cigar. Like, make no
It's
mistake.
like the Winston Churchills,
Mm-hmm.
like those
Yep.
the Bellicose. God, those are so good.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just-
if I those are perfect for me, like in the car.
Yes.
That's like
That's my thing.
perfect
Yeah,
that's my thing.
car.
Yeah.
It's even like, if I'm smoking in the car, it's either going to be a Cortico if it's like a 10 or 15 minute ride, or it'll be a 26 series.
Yeah, like
Because-
the number 35s.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because that's perfect for a 25 to 30 minute drive. You cut that thing open, you light it, you back out, and by the time you're pulling up to your destination, you're literally like
No.
clamping it, and it's perfect time.
no, I agree.
It's just, and I'm one of those people that I smoke with the AC on the floor, and I have the sunroof open. So the car doesn't smell like smoke, but I'm getting the true experience of like just that whole aroma sitting around and then flowing out through the sunroof, and it's just,
Do you have a favorite long smoke?
my favorite long smoke would have to be the Canoe Number 2 by Recluse.
That's hysterical because in my head I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah. So the Las Cabos,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, that's so crazy that you're thinking that.
Like, that's one
Great
of those cigars. And it's funny because it's considered like a double torpedo, but it's open on both ends, and it's about probably a 50 in the middle, and then goes all the way to like a 42, 44 at both ends. And it's like, once you get to that middle, that cigar changes completely, and you're never, as much as I smoke them, I'm never ready for that change. Because that change comes like that,
Okay.
and it's just like,
It's not as subtle as some.
no, it's a whole nother animal.
Well,
in that
that's
second
why
and
I
third
like,
flavor.
that's why I always say I like Perfectos or,
Mhm.
Davidoff Escurio. I've smoked that cigar in a Robusto and a Toro. I'm like, oh, that's just not for me. Smoked it in a Perfecto, perfection.
Casa Magna,
Oh my gosh,
the
absolutely.
double Colorado.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, Heisenberg Cornetto. You talk about, like, now that cigar
I have
to
one
me,
Heisenberg. I have one.
that
one.
cigar to me, I put on the same level as 2635.
Do you?
Because it's the same
It's a
size.
great cigar.
And it's one, and here's the thing.
Obelisco. That's another one. I mean, I love some of those figurados. I mean, because the transition, the ratio of binder wrapper filler, when that changes, you really get to appreciate every piece of that cigar.
Yep.
I mean,
Like every time I smoke that Heisenberg Cornetta, I get what I'd gotten before, but I find a new little nuance to it. And it's a
Especially when
cigar,
you're retrohale.
and it's a cigar that is it's $7 a stick. It comes in a box of 10, and it comes in this nice, beautiful little square box. And it's one of those cigars that I had seen all the time,
Yeah.
and not a lot of people buy because they don't know about it because it's a Quesada product, but nobody really talks about it. So a guy
Underrated
came in,
cigars, by the way.
very much so.
Underrated.
A guy came in and he bought 3 boxes of them. I'm like, why are you buying 3 boxes? It's like nobody ever smokes this. He's like, you've never smoked it? I was like, no. Opens the box and gives him. He's like, smoke it right now. He sits down with me and we're at the bar and we're smoking it. And I'm just like in awe. I mean, literally from lighting it up to finishing it, it is just one of those cigars that, again, when you retrohale, it definitely just gives you a whole other flavor profile that you would not expect.
That Davidoff 53 does that for me as well. So Don happened to give me one on my birthday last year, and I had a similar experience. So nice mild start, medium point, it opens up, and for a Corona, Vitola, great smoke.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the Corona and the petite Corona size, that's my second favorite Vitola after the Lancero because, in truth, it's just a Lancero that's cut in half. And if you want a quick, flavorful, and powerful smoke, that's what you go to. Like if you're going out and you know you're not going to be able to, like a lot of the times when I go out to events and it's a public event or even a private event, and it's one of those things where there's not a lot of cigar smokers. You don't want a huge cigar because I don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah, it can be overpowering.
And then also you don't want to be taking a smoke break for 45 minutes.
No.
When there's something going.
Yeah,
you don't want to
be
be
rude
in a corner.
Yeah, you don't want to be that person. Don't be that person.
So
show some etiquette.
yeah, and again, that goes back to the Cortico series again. It's one of those cigars that you can get your tobacco fix and your cigar fix,
And then you
in
get
a 10
back.
to 15 minute
Hey,
period.
you can get back to
whatever.
your social activity. Absolutely.
So yeah, definitely when she tells you, definitely grab those. I mean, that is a cigar that I think you'll enjoy, not only because it's just great construction and obviously an amazingly aged leaf, but the how do you say just the timing of it. It's one of those cigars that okay, I want to do something. I want to have a quick smoke before I leave and go do something. Or even after dinner. After dinner, you're having a walk. Even if you're with a lady, you have that walk. You're walking for 10 minutes. You smoke that cigar. You put it out, and you're done. And I'm a big proponent of that, as far as especially eating steaks.
Yeah.
I love eating steaks and smoking a cigar at the same time.
And please, out there, if you're eating a good steak, don't put any sauce on it. Let that flavor hit you. That's what it's supposed to be.
And make sure that it's medium rare and not well done.
Yeah, you guys eat a hamburger if you want something like that. So.
You know what? Thank you, because that is the analogy I'm looking for. Like, I feel like you don't get to appreciate the true age on that meat and the time that you think about some of those well-aged steaks that are aging for 90 days, 150 days, things like that.
Yeah.
And when you're cooking them well done, you're cooking out all of that fat, all of that flavor that's built up over that time of aging.
And if it's a good aged steak that's been kept in a salt room, then all that flavor is coming back to you. All of it. So, and being a Midwest boy, I know all about that. So, absolutely.
It's one of those things that you just like, you have to enjoy it that way. And I tell people, like, just try it once. If you don't like it, then you don't like it. But you can't not try it and say, oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, give yourself the experience. So, we're all about the experience.
All about the experience. Oh, God, this is, now I'm going to steak.
Me too.
Actually, you know what I really want?
What?
Some Chicago Uno's
Come on, man.
deep dish pizza.
Don't even go there.
I was telling my girl this morning, I was watching this new Netflix series called Chicago's Party On.
What?
It's a animated series. It's an adult animated series, and it's all about Chicago.
I'm looking it up now.
It's amazing.
It's on Netflix.
On Netflix. It just came out, and I mean, it's all about Chicago life and the sports teams and the drinking and the partying.
Oh, I see it. Chicago Party
Yes.
On. Thank you.
Put that on the list. That is one of those ones that you will die laughing the whole time.
Okay.
And then for you, I'm sure you'll reminisce about all the things Chicago that you miss, and you'll remember things. It's just an amazing series. It's hilarious, but you can tell that the writers of the show are true Chicagoans. Like, you can tell that even the speech.
Yeah, you got that Midwest thing.
It's almost like watching Chris Farley and what's the other guy's name? Was it Belushi?
John Belushi.
Yes, doing the skit about the Bears on
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live.
The Bears.
It is that complete vibe,
Yeah.
just in an animated show. And like I said, it's free. When I say that the social conversation is free, so you're getting the full-on experience of what it would be like to be and it's based now. Like, time is now, but you get what it would be for somebody who grew up in old Chicago in the 70s and 80s. Now is an adult in the year 2021.
Okay.
So it is.
Thank you. I'll check that out.
I'm telling you, that's something that you're just going to sit back and be like, shit, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know guys who act just like that. I know.
Yeah.
And the funny part is, it's about a lady in her like 40s, and she's a fucking hairdresser, and she drinks and parties all the time. Like, one of the episodes, she throws this rager at her condo, and she has fucking sticks. The real Sticks band. She has them performing on a stage that she built inside the condo.
Come on.
It is fucking sick, bro. It's amazing.
All right.
It's amazing. I love it.
Okay.
This cigar is just, and this is my first cigar in 2 days,
What?
3 days.
Okay.
Did I smoke on Thursday?
Welcome back.
Yeah, I haven't smoked. Yeah, last time I smoked was Wednesday. Yeah.
Somebody asked me how many days a week do I smoke cigars, and I said pretty much any day that ends with the word day. So
Correct.
if and when I can. So
Yeah. I mean, I do have my times where I'm like, all right, I need to take a break. And I do that, number one, because I want to cleanse my palate. And I want to be able to appreciate cigars again. Like I told you, like, I smoke for 8-9 months straight. And then I'll take a month or two off without a cigar at all.
that's
Like,
the discipline.
I'll still go to cigar shops. I'll still, sit around, but I won't actually smoke.
You get a contact.
Right. But I'm cleansing my palate that whole time because I'm one of those guys, like, I love the heavy cigars. I love the peppery cigars. But I still have an appreciation for the mild and creamy cigar. I really do. So cleansing your palate, taking a break, and then going back, and I start all over again. So I start mild. And I'll smoke mild cigars for a good month and a half, 2 months. Then I'll go mild to medium. Then I'll just eventually get back up to the point where I'm at the full-bodied cigar again for a good 6 months. And then I'll take a break.
Again, we talk a lot about the progression. So just like we were talking earlier about the flavor that you get from a good Habano. So
Yeah, and I think you lose that appreciation when you find a cigar that you like, and you continually smoke it or smoke something in that avenue or in that wheel. You forget about all of the other stuff that's available to you.
you do. Yeah, I've gotten into I've had to force myself out of those ruts for that exact same purpose. So, and then when I discover something that I hadn't tried in a while, like the Byron Reserva, then I have again another appreciation.
Yep.
So, because I'm stepping out of my comfort zone.
And then you have those aging humidors that you have that, you buy those cigars, and some of my cigars have been aging for 14 to 16 years on some of them.
Yeah, you got some of the cellophane and some of those cigars.
It's brown.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
even yellow.
It looks like stained glass. Yeah, absolutely.
This dude come out with a cologne now.
No, it's for something else. But
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
yeah, they feature it's also for Subway. So
Fucking Subway's hitting it up, man. They got who they had? They had Steph Curry. They got Serena Williams. Now they got fucking Brady.
yeah, they got to continue to rebuild that image after that pedophile
Focal.
Jared. Yeah, that clown. So
Also, on a more serious note, one of my associates, he's not a friend, I don't know him that well, but I've known him for a long time. His daughter is missing.
oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Maya, the one that's missing here in Orlando.
They found it.
They did find her? Well, I had to reach out and give him a call.
Yeah, I saw that alert on my phone
As you were coming here?
about 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Sadly, yeah, very sad. Beautiful young lady.
She was. And her dad's, again, another amazing father. I mean, amazing father. Has always been in her life, has always loved her, has always taken care of her, has shown her what, the type of man that he wants to be, he wants her to be with is him. He's given that great example. And condolences to him and the family. I'm heartbroken to hear it now. It's
And I have no room for cowards. Apparently, the person who took her life worked in the
the
apartment.
maintenance guy that killed himself.
Yeah,
And when they found him, I said it. I was like, and I was talking to one of our mutual friends, me and DJ's mutual friend, who's another DJ, and I was telling him, I was like, the sad part is, like, I really feel like she's already gone, and
Yeah.
I was hoping that wasn't going to be the case.
yeah.
So again, my condolences to the family. They're in a place that I wish and pray that I'm never in.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, you always want to outlive your kids. You don't want your kids you don't want to outlive your kids.
Yeah.
You want your kids to bury you and not the other way around, especially at 19 years old.
That's how it should be. I mean, her life hadn't even
She hadn't even started.
Yeah, yeah. And as the father of daughters, it's our
It's rough.
it's our worst nightmare.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
Like, once I heard the news, I was already like, the pit of my stomach was already shaking.
yeah,
And then when I found out that it was somebody that I knew personally, it just got that much more real to me.
and shout out to all of those who have missing family members out there. So particularly daughters out there. So it's the worst situation, worst place to be in. So
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
was a definite hard pill to swallow, and it's one of those things where you're just like, and I've always said this: if you want to take your own life, fine,
Leave the innocent people.
but there's no
alone.
reason
No.
to hurt anybody else's family and stifle anybody else's life and their growth. Whether it's because you can't have them or they don't want you or whatever the case is.
Move on. Move on.
There's a million fish in the sea.
There's somebody for everybody out here. So
And we've both gone through relationships and divorces and new relationships and things like that. And I will tell you, even when you feel at your lowest, you can only go up.
yeah, there's another day. The sun comes up the next day. You have an opportunity to love and be loved. And if you are rejected, move on. Give that person the opportunity to love and be loved as well.
And,
So,
and you have to learn how to let go so that you can also find that same happiness that others around you have found in a partner that actually appreciates you and is interested in you. Like, they're like you said, there's somebody for everybody.
absolutely.
And to have that happen, I think it's selfish. Like, beyond cowardice, it's just selfish.
Yeah, and it's sick.
Yeah, it's
sick. So
like I said, we've been in those places where, yes, you're hurt because this person doesn't want to be with you or because it's not working out. But guess what? Like you said, there's always tomorrow.
yeah,
There's
and
always another day.
if it doesn't work out, there's a reason for it. So accept that. Learn about yourself, so that if you've made mistakes, you can improve upon them. So the next relationship get yourself involved in, you can be better for yourself, better for that person, better for that relationship. So
And that is a thing that I, as an adult, you realize. And again, it goes to having people talk to you and having that older voice of reason.
yeah,
Um,
and it doesn't even have to be an older voice. You know, you've helped me exponentially in some of my travails in the world of dating, and I appreciate your advice and your counsel. So, you know, we all should have a network of people that we trust and that we can go to, and that can help recenter us and help us refocus when necessary.
absolutely.
Men need that. Certain women need that as well. So yes, my condolences to Maya's family for sure.
But on that note, we're going to close out the show, not on a somber note, but on a happy note, that we're going to celebrate the life that she did get to live.
Absolutely.
And that is where the focus needs to be. It's just celebrating the milestones that she did get to pass, and always remembering that, again, tomorrow's not promised. So, you know, I live life with no regrets. I live life with a lot of mistakes that I've made,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't regret the decisions that I've made,
No.
because it's gotten me to that point where I've actually learned from them. I've learned from my mistakes. I've learned that, this wasn't a good idea.
And that's the mark of introspection and maturity. Absolutely. And we're all on that. It's a journey. It's not a destination. It's a journey to better self, a journey to healthier self.
Yeah. Mental health is real.
Mm-hmm. Emotional health is real.
I will be the first one to tell you. Like, mental health is a thing. And if you are not mentally well, you can't be happy on your own.
No. And definitely do not get into a relationship if you're not mentally and emotionally healthy. So
And we
do
had
the
this
work.
conversation.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend and I had this conversation when we first started talking and dating. She was like, "Are you ready for a regular relationship, like a real adult relationship?" And we both had that, thought of and honesty with each other that we were not ready. Like, we wanted to build a friendship and grow in each other and grow in ourselves. And then when we got to that point, we had a mutual conversation and saying, "Hey, this is something that I'm ready for. This is something that I've, taken the time to really address myself and address my own issues, because you can't rely on somebody else to make you happy."
You cannot. You are in charge of your own happiness by yourself.
And this whole thing of 50-50 relationships, that's a fallacy.
Yes.
It is 100% on each end, because you have to walk into whatever situation at 100% on your own, so that person, yes, they add value to you, but you already want to be at 100% when you begin that relationship.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're always going to look to that person to feel complete or to feel whole.
To validate you.
And
you
that
can
is
only
not
validate
a healthy
yourself.
place. It's
Correct.
not a healthy place.
Correct.
So with that, I will say, drink well, smoke well,
Eat well.
eat well, pay attention to your own personal happiness.
And don't be afraid to reach out and get help, counseling, whatever that may be, whatever the source is.
And don't be ashamed of it. I mean, I think that's one of
No.
those things that we're finally getting to, especially as black men. I think
Right.
we're finally getting to that place of understanding that mental health is real, and there's nothing wrong with crying or feeling sad. But what we have to do is realize that we can't live in that moment. We have to realize that that's part of your growth.
Well said.
Loss is part of growth.
Well said.
If you never lose anything, you can never gain anything. You can't gain perspective. You can't gain growth. Like you said, you don't mature.
No.
And that's one of the things that we have to really focus on, is being mature in these situations and understanding that you're not going to win 100% of the time. And it's okay to lose. It's okay to refocus on yourself and get your shit together.
That's how you learn.
Because if you don't, you're never going to be where you want to be in life.
And then when the right person comes along, you're not going to be in a position to be your best self for that person, for that relationship.
So again, we're gonna close out with always aim center mass, and just work on yourself every day. Just loving yourself. I think that's the biggest message from today.
You won't go blind.
Yeah. But just work on bettering yourself for yourself, not for someone else. Never do things because you're like, oh, I'm doing this for you. No,
No, never.
do it for yourself.
Correct.
Because at the end of the day, we are born alone and we die alone.
Correct.
No matter if you're in a 75 or 60-year relationship, and like, you still have to be happy and productive on your own in order for you to be your best self in a relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a romantic relationship, whether it's a marriage, whatever it is. Any type of friendship or relationship that you're in, you have to be healthy mentally and emotionally and physically in order for that relationship to not be stagnant and to grow and to prosper. So have a great day.
Well said. Have a great weekend.
Love yourself. And like Art said, you won't go blind.
Yeah. We'll see you next
We'll
week.
see you next week.
Peace and chicken grease.